What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. I want to talk to you guys about Final Fantasy XIV. I've been playing this game for the past couple weeks now, and I've got to say, I've been enjoying the hell out of it. It is so much fun. I've had a good friend of mine that's been talking me into it for many, many years. My stubborn ass finally decided to get into it and play it. And honestly, I want to do a first impressions about it. TLDR, it's pretty good. I'm going to cover this in like a 4-part system. Pros, cons. I'm going to do it in the middle. And then I'm going to do what I call a breath of fresh air. I'm going to get to that. So don't worry. Stick around for the video and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Be sure to click the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, ring the ding dong, and make sure it goes off. That way you get notified when I post a video. I would love to have you guys join in. The kingdom is growing. It'd be fun to see you join on in. All right, let's get on into it. What the fuck am I doing with my hand? First section, the pros. The biggest thing that has stood out to me from the instant I started playing this game with only one ability is the combat. It is so good and so crisp. That coupled with the aesthetic that they have designed with all the abilities, especially the spells, they nail flashy. And I mean, they nail it. And it looks so good. It's so fun to play. It's so fun to be a part of. And it makes you feel like a god amongst men. I've been playing Ninja, so you'll see my guy twirling and whirling around everywhere. And yes, I get the Naruto run. I mean, come on. You tell me a game where you get the Naruto run, I'm playing it. I get to do these things called mudras, which are like jutsus from Naruto. I mean, granted, yes, Final Fantasy, it's a very anime-influenced game. The combat's so rewarding. I could go on and on about it. I guess that's kind of the point of a YouTube video. But combat aesthetics aside, I want to talk about the aesthetic of the game itself. The cities look amazing. Everything looks so beautiful. The water. If you crank those graphics up to high, I'm telling you, it looks out of this world. The detail on the armor, it says Final Fantasy and they nail fantasy to a T. And I'm glad I mentioned gear because that's the other thing I want to touch up on. Glamour or transmog, the amount that you can go into it, how deep you can go into transmog is insane. I have seen the wildest glamour so far. I've seen people look exactly like Naruto and people from One Piece, some NPCs from World of Warcraft. It is so extensive. Mounts. Oh my gosh. If you are a mount collector, this game is made for you. I've seen the regalia from Final Fantasy 15. It's basically this sick ass long car, dragons, phoenixes. The list goes on, man. There's kind of a trend here. They definitely go with the very tension grabbing, very loud, very eccentric style of game. Oh, hey, kind of like me. And I like that because that transitions to its story and its dialogue. Granted, I'm at a part that a lot of people have said,
well, don't play that because it's going to be really boring. And if you play something that's really boring, there's just no sense in doing it.
I'm enjoying it either way. Yes, there's some fetch quests, but overall, this is a really fun game to get sunk into the story with. It really grabs your attention and it's got a lot of cool setup that you do this one thing and like 40 levels later, you see it again. You're like, oh, I remember this. Their dialogue delivery, I think, is perfect. The way they deliver their quests and dialogue is in these chat windows, basically. I think that's actually perfect for trying to grab a reader or grab a player to get immersed into the game. Instead of where I'm used to World of Warcraft, where they give you this long ass text that you just have to read. And with that quick delivery, I found myself, and mind you, big ADHD brain here, really keeping myself involved with the quest, even if they're kind of this weird side thing that's not all that interesting, just because of the way to deliver it. So big props to the writers of Final Fantasy. The last bit I want to touch up on as a pro of this game from first impression, and I have barely touched it, is its raid system. Its raid system just looks so freaking amazing. You've got normal, hard, savage, extreme, and ultimate is like next level shit from what I've been told. Right now, the most I've done is hard, and I can't wait to do savage. But the fact that I'm not even at the end game yet, and I can experience kind of like a raid, they're called trials. You get 8 people in them. That's exciting in itself. Along with that, having the option to do these at that level is an amazing catch-up experience. I actually am about to be done with a post or a Realm Reborn section, but once I finish that, I've been told that I can actually experience the Bahamut raid and trials of a Realm Reborn as if they're current expansion. That's a PvE MMORPG gamer's dream right there. To be able to go back and not just fly through all the old content and go, you know what? I really like this raid. It was difficult. Let's do it. Or if new players come into a game, they can still experience it. You know, from World of Warcraft, if I missed out on an expansion of raids, that was it. I could go back and farm it real quickly, being super overpowered with a group of like 3 people, but I'd never be able to experience it again unless we were doing like classic WoW like they've been doing. This, you just click a button, you're good to go. Now, of course, every game has its issues. Let's go over the cons. I have never had more problems trying to purchase a game. I'm not saying you gotta hold my hand, but boy, did I have to do some Googling just to figure things out. I didn't buy it through Steam, right? I wanted to buy it through Square Enix. And there was this really weird system of having like 2 or 3 different sites. There's a Square Enix site, there's a Mog Station site, and then there's this like other site that was like the Lodestone, but also looked like a place you could log into. That was like, okay. And if you go through Steam, you have to basically buy the game on Steam, get a code, go to the Mog Station, create an account, link to Steam and Mog Station, use the code from Steam and Mog Station, and then you can install it. But just navigating that whole system really could use some improvement. And I know that seems like, why are we complaining about something like how to purchase a game? You know, you're gonna figure it out and buy it anyways. Yes, I will. But there's a lot of people, and they have actually come into my live stream and mentioned it, that they're not gonna play the game because of how difficult that was. By the way, if you haven't already, go check out twitch.tv/KingRalliant. I do stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday evenings, and Sunday afternoons, sometimes Saturday afternoons. I would love to see you guys there. We put on shows there. We do a whole different vibe. I love to give you guys a place to be able to come and show with us. Something else I want to brush up on is the full world problem. Now, granted, at the time of this video, they just put a patch update out that basically said that you'll log out after 30 minutes of being AFK, which is really, really good. I think that will help. But overall, I've had people say that it's too hard to get on the same world with me. I can understand it. You don't want to bog down your servers. I guess I'm used to just long ass queues. If you got to put them in a 3-hour queue, put them in a 3-hour queue. People will wait hours to get into a server. I promise you, I've done it. Last thing I want to touch up on in the cons, this is something that's kind of near and dear to me, PvP. I just like the feel of PvP, and I like having that competitive side, right? There's no world PvP from my understanding. There's no open world dueling. You actually have to go to a specific area, but even where it's located, which is in bumfuck Egypt, literally on an island all the way to the south, away from everything, that in itself gives off this, you know, we included it because we had to, because we know it's an important part of the community. We really don't give a shit about it. So here's your island, have fun. And that's a big feels bad, man. The in-between is something that I don't know if it's a pro or a con. I only have one thing to add on this, but the snapshotting from AI during combat. Now, I come from WoW. You don't get hit by something until the spell finishes going off. And if you're in the aura, then boom, then you get hit by it. It does the same thing in Final Fantasy, except there's always a big animation. So let's say there's a big cone in front of you and he does this big animation. You have to basically get out of it immediately, where you can't ride that last second, because if you're caught in that, it gives off this big animation and it's like a 4-second delay, and you could be all the way in freaking Africa, you'll still take damage from that because the game registers it as at the time of the cast completion, you were in the cone. I'm used to knowing, all right, so this went off, this is now going to hit me. Like I said, it's an in-between. I like it, I don't. It's more so just because I'm not used to it. Now, the weird section, breath of fresh air. Not having to install the game and then go through a bunch of ads and spend a whole weekend setting them up. I can't be the only one that spends a weekend, right? When you just install the game, you basically can just play the game. You don't have to spend time setting up a bunch of add-ons, spend time installing this program that installs this add-on, that you have to read through the readme and do this and do this and do that and blah, 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 blah. You basically have everything integrated in. You can click the HUD button and then you can configure it how you like. Quick, easy, I love that. The last thing is the slap happy humor that some of these side quests and even part of the main contain. It's hilarious, especially these Hildebrand quests. From what I've experienced, it quite literally is a breath of fresh air to have some quests that have that kind of humor. You get to laugh while playing the game. But that's about all I have for you guys today. I've been enjoying the game. Make like Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Get the game. Try it out. I think it's a good time. You can play it for free for like 30 days, which is more than enough to really get a feel for the game. It won't cost you anything. You just got to sign up. I think it's worth it. I think it's been a really fun experience, and I come from playing WoW for 14 plus years. And I haven't touched WoW since, and I think it's a really good transition. At the core, I think Square Enix really cares about Final Fantasy XIV, and they care about the direction of the game. They listen to its players. It seems like they've got a great community. I've met so many wonderful people, and I've only been playing the game for 2 weeks. That's all I have for you, though. So if you haven't already, click that like button, click the subscribe, ring the notification bell to get notified when I upload a video. And I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to put a smile on someone's face. I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Keep on keeping on. I'll see ya.